All right, we're back from that musical interlude, and I want to tell you about a little something that we've got coming up starting this summer. And the UMOR Live family of shows is going to be heavily involved. Our boy Big Perm from the Big Perm Show, Sunday nights at 8 p.m. is going to be the host of the inaugural event, and it's called the MMA VIP Club. You can look that up on Facebook and join the group and find out about a lot of stuff there. MMA VIP Club. And what they're doing, July 19th is going to be the first event that they're going to be hosting, and it's a meet-and-greet dinner banquet at the Fluid Event Center, Champaign, Illinois. Let me tell you about this star-studded list of VIPs that they're going to have appearing at this dinner banquet. We've got Hall of Famers Ken Shamrock, Dan Severn. We've got Mark Coleman, Spencer Fisher, and Kenny Robertson. That is 5 star-studded legends of mixed martial arts. And Big Perm's going to be hosting that. Now, again, it's MMA VIP Club. First event's taking place July 19th. If you get on board with that Facebook page, your boy the Butcher is going to be hosting a couple of these as they start setting dates and planning events. And then again, this first event's going to be a dinner banquet. And we have got our homeboy from Sunday nights, the Big Perm Show, Big Perm, going to be telling us about when these tickets go on sale and maybe give us a little information about what to expect from our Toastmaster. What's up, Big Perm?
What is up, motherfucker, you?
I'm just fucking smoking some weed and talking to people. I had a great guest. We've been highlighting MFC fighters leading up to MFC 40. We had Victor Valimakis.
Yeah, I was listening to most of that interview. Great interview, dude. I enjoyed listening to that thing, and it's not often that I'm on this side of things and actually get to sit and listen to you. So it was nice, man. And I'm looking forward to this VIP club thing, MMA VIP Club. They're doing this dinner banquet down in Champaign, which is an hour and a half down the road from me. And with the guest lineup, you know, Ken Shamrock, Dan Severn, Mark Coleman, I mean, 3 legends right there. Spencer Fisher, who's had just some legendary fights. You know, the 3 that come to mind are his trilogy with Sam Stout, just unreal. And current UFC fighter and Metamora High School teacher Kenny Robertson. And, you know, when Chris came through town, I don't know, last week sometime, on his way back from Champaign and dropped the details on me, I told him, dude, I'm like, man, I'm going to have to take the night off of work and come down and check this out. And he's like, no, man, you're going to be the Toastmaster. And I said, what? He says, yeah, you get to host this thing. And I'm like, all right, cool. I am super excited about this. Tickets. Now, this is the cool thing. Tickets go on sale this Friday, April 25th.
Where can we get them?
As far as getting the tickets, you know, that's one detail that I am lacking at the moment.
Oh, yeah?
So
well,
I'll have that for you here in just a hot second.
Get down to the Facebook fan page. Join up right now or as soon as you can, MMA VIP Club, and all that information will be available there. And you can make sure to keep up at one of these fine and unique events. It's very limited seating, might I add.
Yeah, that's the thing. There is very, very limited seating with this. There are also VIP options as well. So definitely check out the MMA VIP Club Facebook page for more details on this. And I'm trying to get more details where the tickets are on sale at. That's one thing I don't have in front of me.
That's fine, man. That's why I'm asking the question.
Well, that's, you know, I guess I give you my best, Dave, but I was ill-prepared for this. Shame on me. And you know what? I should have known this. The event's being held down at the Fluid Event Center in Champaign, Illinois. And eTix is where you get them. You go to etix.com. It's etix.com. That's where you can get your tickets for the MMA VIP Club dinner banquet down at the Fluid Event Center July 19th in Champaign, Illinois.
Nice, nice. And I'll tell you, with this music that we've got in the background, that's why I was like, I'm asking the questions here, see?
Can you dig it?
I can totally dig it. So did you watch some fights this week? What did you think about Verdum's performance against Papa?
Well, Dave, I'm sure you probably know this. Me personally, I have boycotted watching any UFC.
Oh, okay.
I don't watch those fights anymore because I've got issues. And the only fight I've recently watched was the fight with Kenny Robertson. The only reason I watched that fight is because
you had to save your ass by saying that. That's why you watched that motherfucking fight.
No, there's one reason. One reason. He's from Spring Bay. That's where I'm from. And he's a homeboy that I actually interviewed on my show on Sunday night. And so, yes, I had to watch the fight. Couldn't help myself. But after that, the boycott was back on.
Well, and we've interviewed all of these 5 gentlemen appearing at the meet and greet dinner banquet on July 19th at the Fluid Event Center together, I believe. I think we interviewed every single one of these guys on UMOR Live. Yes,
sir. Absolutely, we have. I've actually had the opportunity to meet most of them in person as well, and I'm just a fight fan, man. I'm not a journalist or a broadcast professional by any means, man. I'm a fight fan and a fight junkie who's a little pissed at Zuffa and Dana White right now. But that aside, it was an honor each time that I had the chance to meet these guys. And in talking with them, as well as in meeting them in person, I've found that, a lot of my preconceived notions with these guys about how they would be arrogant and cocky and maybe be dicks, none of them have been like that. Hell, when I met Mark Coleman for the first time ever, he was thanking me. He was hugging me and thanking me, for being a fan. And I was I was blown away by that.
Oh, yeah, he's a great guy, man. He just made an appearance over here on the west side of the state for a promotion that's been putting on some shows in Grand Rapids. Him and Wes Sims showed up there. And I had just seen those guys over at the last Explode Fight Series show, which we got one coming up here like 2 weeks, bro. May 2nd. You going to be in the house again doing any are we going to be doing a commentary or anything like that again?
I don't know. I haven't got any word about that. So maybe if the word comes through the grapevine that they want me to come and ramble, I guess I can do that.
I mean,
regardless, I'll be there, man. I mean, if you're going to be in the house, it's just an excuse for me to come up and kick it with the butcher.
Well, and I liked sitting with you and kicking it. It kind of sucked we had to talk almost, but it was fun talking. But at the same time, I was like, come on, man, I want to be able to cuss.
And this time around, man, I plan on being able to hang out afterwards. The last go around, I didn't drive up there, so I kind of had to scoot and boogie because my ride was leaving.
To be honest, I'm going to be going to Berry County Beatdown 3, which is about 8 hours away, and I'm going to be leaving very shortly after the show, so we won't have much time because I got to be back in Michigan to do another show on Saturday night.
Good Lord. Well, we can get twisty, if nothing else.
Road warrior, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be fun. I got my homeboy train wreck driving, and we're going to be just taking turns. So, and we don't travel dirty, so it'll be nice to see you, my brother.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I was just thumbing through the news and reading, trying to catch up on some stuff that I missed this past week because my week here in Peoria has been consumed by some chaos going on with the mayor and the police and all that, and raiding somebody's house over a bogus Twitter account. But I saw that MMA fighter and kickboxer Tyrone Spong broke his leg at Glory 15. It was something that I hadn't seen, which is unfortunate. But man, did you happen to see that?
No, I did not, and I do remember reading about that. Now it's hard to like I said, I'm traveling a lot too right now. The season's getting going, so I haven't. I catch up just like a lot of people do, and that we do wish him a quick recovery with that. That is rough to see because he's quite a performer.
Yeah, he was signed with the World Series of Fighting. He's 2-0 with those guys over there. And I can't remember who this guy is that he's fighting with. He's back at Glory 15 in Istanbul, and he threw a leg kick, and just right there in the middle between his knee and his ankle, that thing snapped. And, I mean, good God, dude. It definitely make you think twice about throwing a leg kick, man. Holy cow.
Well, and that's been coming up. I mean, that secret's been revealed. So what we're going to see is I don't think we're going to see anything on the way of regulation, but I do think that we're going to see people adapting for that. And you really see a lot of people learning how to check leg kicks now. And that even if you watch Aldo's last couple of fights, and some of these other guys that are well known for throwing a lot of leg kicks, they're not. I mean, they're still dangerous. Believe me. You see guys get crumpled with them, but at the same time, you know, it happened on Bellator. Matter of fact, on Friday night, this guy got beat by leg kicks. It was too bad because he was ready to fight too, but it happens, you know. But at the same time, you see a lot more people checking them. So if anything, that's the evolution.
And, you know, there was some other chaos, just something crazy that I saw from the last week or 2 weeks in MMA. I don't know if you covered it or not, but from Resurrection Fighting Alliance, it was RFA 14. Did you see where the fighter went to the corner in between rounds, passed out, fell off his stool, and then they allowed him to continue fighting? I mean, that's like a whole new meaning to Resurrection Fighting. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and right before Easter, too?
Yeah, you know, I mean, holy cow. I mean, the guy passes out, falls off his stool. You know, they wake him up, and, all right, ding, ding, get your ass back in there, son.
Well, here's the deal, okay? And I'll tell you what, this has come up. Because, like I said, I've seen thousands of fights watching, and there a lot of them are amateurs. A lot of them are guys who've never done it before. So you see referees. I mean, if you don't have a referee that knows what the fuck he's doing and is able to deal with all different levels of experience, you know, because sometimes there's a lot of variables that go into refereeing. You have to know how long to let somebody take a beating. You have to know when to stop someone from getting hurt, because a lot of these guys work on Monday. I've seen this come up where a guy was choked, almost unconscious, took a minute to get up. They were, you know, contemplating saying he was out. There's a possibility he was, but there's no ruling officially that you can make on that after the time has passed. So the referee at this time was Vance Swerden, I believe, and he said if he can answer the bell for the next round, he can fight. And the guy came out, and he didn't take very long for the other guy to finish him, so it was an official victory for him and everything. And, you know, it went properly. But then on a couple other occasions, I've seen guys exhausted in the corner, you know, like you said, passing out or even getting sick sometimes.
Yeah.
And they might get checked out by the doctor, which buys them a little more time even.
It does.
Not insinuating that it's purposely done either. It buys you a little more time to get ready. And if you can answer the bell, that's the way I understand it. Regardless of how the round ends, if you're not finished, if you have not been finished, now if you're unconscious and the ref misses it, the bell rings, well, hey, man, if you can wake up and answer the bell, you can continue fighting.
Yeah, but I would agree with that in a sense, but in this particular case where the guy's sitting on a stool and he passes out and falls face first on the mat, that fight has to be called.
That's what I'd like to know. Did the doctor check him out real quick after that and say he's good to go?
Well, and that's what I was trying to read through, you know.
I don't expect you to know that.
Through the different reports and everything that I've read, I was, you know, unaware if the doctor had checked him out. He was examined by a licensed physician after the bout as well. So let me back up, because there was a statement issued by the Wyoming State Board of MMA, and where it mentioned that this guy fell off the stool between the 4th and 5th round at the event. He was examined by his cornerman and the referee. All parties, including Mr. Morano, whoever the hell that is, believed and stated unequivocally that, that was the fighter, my bad, was medically safe and capable of finishing the fight. In fact, he fought well in the last round and lost in a close split decision. So he wasn't examined by a doctor. A cornerman and a referee looked at him in between rounds. He fought the 5th round. It went to a decision, and then he was examined afterwards. But still, you know, fighter safety first, man. If a guy passes out and falls off the stool in between rounds, it's done in my book.
I disagree. I've seen these.
Well, I'm going to have to agree that we disagree.
No, let's talk about it. It's fun, and there's no animosity by any means.
No, for sure.
When we're talking about competitors, like I just mentioned, it's the same in pro as it is in amateur. If a guy's not very experienced, the ref and the fighters both have low records, then the referee has a little more responsibility at when to call the match and how much to let each person deal with the fight before he calls it, and they watch a little closer. If this guy's fighting a 5-round fight, he's got experience He is prepared. His training camp better if he has a training camp, which probably you would assume. He better be prepared cardio-wise. I think that where the mistake was made in this case was that the referee didn't call the doctor in to check it, and I'm wondering why. I wonder if there's a precedent set for it or if there's anything in the rules about something like this. But, like I said, if you can answer the bell, you can fight, and that's kind of what we go by here. That's what I've seen by the most true blue of professional acting referees like James Lee, Vance Swerden, Ben Lagman, but all three of those guys will be like, all right, why did you pass out? What's the deal? Now, if the cornerman and the fighter can both say, look, man, I'm okay, or whatever, then, you know, the referee, a lot of times, if he knows the guys or if he is reffing a great close fight like this was, and he doesn't want that fight to stop either, maybe he personally didn't want to call a doctor because he didn't want it to stop. I think that's the mistake, if anything, was that the doctor did not check him out before that round. Yeah, I wonder why.
Me too. You know, the Wyoming, it's been, at least it's 2014, so it's been 4 or 5 years since I really looked or dealt with any MMA out in Wyoming. But about 5 years ago in my advertising career, I was dealing with a few different promotions out there in Wyoming, and they were telling me, you know, it's like the wild, wild west out here. There wasn't a lot of regulation, especially when it comes to amateur events. Now, granted, this was a pro event, you know, which now 5 years later, you know, is governed by the Wyoming State Board of MMA.
That's interesting.
It still seems to me like they got a long way to go when it comes to regulation, and for the life of me, I don't know why, you know, a commission member that was obviously there ringside wouldn't have said something or stepped in, or maybe it's just not their place. I don't really know how that works.
Well, I'll take away, since there was a statement issued by a board of MMA, whatever the name, each state kind of has their own way of calling something, naming nomenclature aside. I don't know. Like I said, I think if a guy can answer the bell, he can fight. That's the way it works.
Right.
Even if he falls on his face when the bell rings, then call the fight then. But
it's over, right?
You got to if somebody wants to fight and he can, you got to let it go. It's that kind of sport, and it's okay. And that's what people want. That's what people respect. You know, not just want. I mean, sometimes people want bogus shit.
Very true.
Yeah, I'm cool with it, but yeah, I think we both kind of agree that the mistake, I think maybe you should have had the doc at him just in case that there wasn't a danger or that there was something going on.
Yeah, I mean, you know, heaven forbid we read a news headline in a week that, you know, fighter dies, you know, a week after a fight, and we've read those headlines before. I think a fighter out of Australia or fucking somewhere outside the U.S. it happened to. But switching gears, Dave, what do you think about Ronda Rousey's next opponent, Alexis Davis? When is she going to fight Cyborg? I mean, forget Gina Carano, forget Alexis Davis. When's she fighting Cyborg?
It's never going to happen.
It's one of those fights, you know, like GSP Silva, just never going to happen?
It's really just not, you know, Dana probably doesn't want to just come out and say that it'll never happen. Well, wait, I'm sorry, he did.
Oh, my God. Here we go again, pound my head against the fucking wall with Zuffa and Dana, you know.
I don't think that fight makes sense. As interesting as it is, you know, it's just like aliens to me or some shit. You know, it's fun to talk about and it'd be cool to see, but you know, but it's really, when you really boil down to it, it's bullshit. But
you know, the fight between Rousey and Cyborg, that's what so many fans want to see, and you know, I thought that was what they were doing, was giving the fans the fights that they want to see. You know, maybe they're just trying to string this along and build the hype and do it later down the road, but you know, I don't know how much longer Ronda Rousey's star is going to shine in the UFC, especially with her interest in doing movies and whatnot. You know, she may go the way of Kung Lee and be gone.
Well, Cyborg also, you know, hasn't necessarily isn't there a big issue with her cutting the weight and her probably not being necessarily able to do it?
Well, The weight, and that's the question, and we get back to cutting weight. Period. I think you know my feelings on weight cutting. You look at Ronda Rousey, and she cuts 20, 30 pounds before she goes in there. When she comes out, when it's fight time, they both weigh the same. I mean, it's a matter of just making the cut to get to that weight, which I think's, again, in my opinion, stupid, but that's how the game's played these days.
So maybe they should add a stipulation to this. I don't necessarily favor the elimination of the weight cut because it does produce some good action, and most people can do it safely. But I think there should be something added to that for fight day weight. I know it's going to cause problems, and it might, it's tough to imagine if you're a business owner, dude, or if you're just a promoter, and you're like, all right, I got this badass matchup. This 6'8" guy cuts to 205, and we got a 6'3" guy that's 215 naturally. All right.
Yep.
So the 6'3" guy is going to cut to 205 real simply and easily, and he's going to come in at a natural weight, pretty much, probably right around 215. The guy that's 6'8" is going to bust his ass and get down to 205, and then come in at like 260 or 240 or something, or 235.
Right.
That to me, now heavyweight, that's fine. 230, 260, go for it. But when you're talking light heavyweight, when you're talking weight divisions that you have to cut to, I think that there should be some sort of a 5-pound. You have to be each within 5 or 6 pounds of each other on fight day, or come on.
That's what I'm saying, and that's where I'm a big proponent of same day weigh-ins. There's a lot of talk about how fighters will be injured because there's not enough recovery time to rehydrate or what have you. Then do a slow weight cut through your training camp. You get to the fight day and you only got to cut 5 pounds. It's not such a big drain and taxing on the body. And again, guys that are fighting at, they're fighting, say, flyweight, and then by the time, they get into the cage for the actual fight, they're a fucking welterweight or damn near a middleweight.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy.
The way that these disciplines are designed, and this is kind of what I was going to say about Cyborg and Rousey, too, to wrap that part up and move on to this part of it, was that Ronda Rousey's arts, which is judo, jiu-jitsu, and some pretty we got 2 minutes, pretty effective striking, are designed for self-defense. Defending yourself doesn't matter about a weight class, doesn't matter what you're wearing. I mean, those things are designed to protect you when something springs up at the spur of the moment. I think a weight difference doesn't make much of a difference, therefore it shouldn't be eliminated. I think there should be some sort of anyway, we can talk about this a lot, and it's fun to talk about. But I'm not seeing a whole lot of mismatches, bro. I'm not. And so, therefore, I think they should keep the status quo. Once again, let's talk about why he's here with me tonight. One of the main reasons, July 19th. Again, MMA VIP Club. Go join the Facebook page. etix.com is where they'll be available this Friday, April 25th, for the July 19th meet and greet dinner banquet with your host, the Toastmaster, Big Perm, up in this house at the Fluid Event Center in Champaign, Illinois. Tell us again who the guests are, bro.
Dude, star-studded lineup of UFC legends, even a current fighter. We got Ken Shamrock, Dan Severn, Mark Coleman, Spencer Fisher, and Kenny Robertson. Going to be in the house. Cool. Going to be a dinner banquet, a meet and greet. Going to be a really good time with yours truly, talking shit and helping move the night along.
Well, dress to the nines. This is going to be a big deal. Sign up early for those VIP tickets. Space is limited. UMOR is very happy to be involved. Both of us will be taking turns, I guess, or depending on the location, we'll be both taking turns hosting some of these types
Dave,
of events.
We got just a few seconds left, but locations, from what I've heard like Austin and Fort Hood, Texas. I've heard Boston, Massachusetts, Las Vegas, possibly Chicago, Indiana, Iowa. Dude, this is all over the place, and I am not only honored to be asked to be a part of this, but just as an MMA fan, dude, I'm stoked, and now I need to go change my pants because I've done messed myself.
Well, I'm bound and determined to do my best to make this a lot of fun for all of those good, hardworking people that are going to put some of those hard-earned dollars to come join in something that's quite unique. Again, the first event is going to be a meet-and-greet dinner banquet, July 19th. Tickets go on sale this Friday, etix.com. This is MMA VIP Club. And again, tonight's show brought to you by PatinoDiet.com. I want to thank everybody listening. I want to thank my guests, Big Perm and Victor Valimaki. And once again, that's MFC 40, May 9th. This weekend, I'm going to be with Darren Crookshank, refereeing up in Traverse City, Michigan. Don't forget to listen to the Big Perm Show on Sunday evenings. And this Wednesday, we'll be back with Unfiltered Data with Robert Gordon and Steve LaFrey.